Mahabharata 10. Description of the flood. Then Vyasa said, "Listen, I will tell you how the day of Brahma will end and the night will come, and how it will first disappear. I will tell you how God will make the entire universe settle and absorb it into himself. The sun in the sky above and the 7 flames of fire below will also be the first to burn. Then this entire world will start burning brightly with its flames. The plants and animals on the earth will be destroyed and everything will become the earth itself. Then all the plants and animals will be destroyed, and the earth will look like the back of a tortoise without trees and life. When the earth absorbs the odor, which is the quality of the odorless earth will be destroyed. Everything is like a mother, making sound, and the water covered with clouds is everywhere. Father, when this father's quality of juice combines with brilliance, then it loses its quality of juice and dissolves in brilliance. When the sun is absorbed by the fire itself, the entire sky is blazing with the flames of fire. When the wind incorporates the quality of light into itself, the light goes out, the great wind is blowing like a diamond. It is blowing downwards, upwards, and horizontally with a great noise. When the sky swallows the quality of touch of that wind, then the wind becomes calm, only the sky remains with the quality of sound. Without form, taste, touch, or smell, in the entire world, only the sky remains with its echo. The manifested mind, the quality of sound, of the sky, also absorbs that manifested mind into itself. This is called the Brahmapralaya. That unmanifested mind is taken over by the will in due course of time, the will is swallowed up by the mind, that is the infinite knowledge. Time swallows that knowledge, force also subdues time, force is swallowed up by the great time. That time is taken over by the omniscient Parabrahman, just as the sky subdues its quality of sound, that is the unmanifested, eternal, and infinite Parabrahman. Thus all beings are destroyed and become Parabrahman. In this way, I have said everything correctly and without any doubt. Realizing that all this is knowledge, the yogis, who have become the Supreme Soul, remain in Brahman itself. In this way, the world is being dissolved and created again and again in the unmanifest Parabrahman. At the beginning of thousands of ages, the Ahoratras of Brahman are becoming. The duty of Brahmins, the importance of giving charity to Brahmins. Vasudeva said, "I have told you the fate of the Buddhagram. I will tell you the duty of a Brahmin, listen to it. From the birth karma, all karmas should be done to him. Up to Samavardhan, he should study all the Vedas under an acharya who is well versed in the Vedas, be immersed in the teachings of the Guru, acquire an affinity for the knowledge taught by the Guru. Understand the principle of sacrifice and become Samartha. With the permission of the acharya, one should have taken refuge in one of the 4 ashrams in a proper manner until the time of death. Either by marrying a wife and having children, or by celibacy, or by living in the forest or near the Guru, or else by the Yati Dharma. The religion of the householder is the root of all these religions. He who has made a potion of life in that ashram will attain siddhi everywhere. He who is of a noble lineage, a warrior, and a sacrificer, and is free from the 3 vices, and has become pure by his actions, should attain the remaining ashrams. He should be in whatever place on earth seems most pious. There he should strive to be a standard bearer to the people and be successful. The success of a Brahmin increases by great penance, by becoming proficient in knowledge, by sacrifice, or by giving gifts. To the extent that success in this world increases, to that extent does a man attain the eternal worlds that the pious attain. He should be teaching. He should also be studying. He should have a sacrifice performed or be performing it himself. He should not make useless offerings. He should be giving gifts in any way. Whenever there is a surplus of wealth, whether from a priest, a disciple, or a scoundrel, one should perform a yajna. One should give charity. One should not eat alone. While at home, there is no other door than the appropriate gift. One should give charity to the gods, sages, ancestors, and teachers, to the elderly, to those in distress, to the hungry, and to those who are tormented by inner anguish, according to one's ability, even beyond the ability of the gods. There is nothing that should not be given to those who are worthy and suitable. By satisfying them according to their wishes, the Mahabharata, who was a true devotee, saved the life of a Brahmin with his own life and attained heaven. The great god, who was like a deity, donated water to the great soul Vasistha, and therefore is revered in heaven. The wise king Indradaman gave wealth in various ways to the worthy recipient and attained the infinite worlds. The wife of Asina gave her body and the son she had conceived for a Brahmin and went to heaven. Pratarda, the king of Kasi, gave his eyes to a Brahmin and achieved unparalleled fame in this world and the next. Devavrata, who donated a divine 8-acre golden canopy, ascended to heaven. The great resplendent Atreya Sankriti taught the Nirguna Brahma to his disciples and attained the better worlds. Ambarisha, who donated Arbu cows to Brahmins, attained the celestial world along with his nation. Savitri gave up her divine earrings and Janamejaya his body for the sake of a Brahmin and went to the better world. Yuvanashva, who was a bull, gave up all the jewels, his beloved women, and a beautiful abode and went to heaven. Vaideha Nimi donated the nation, Jamadagna the land, and Gaya the land with its cities to the Brahmins. When Parjanya did not reign, Vasistha, the destroyer of demons, created rain to create citizens. The pious Maruta, the son of Karandama, gave Kanai to Angarasa and quickly went to heaven. The wisest of the wise, Brahmadatta, the king of Panchalya, gave the conch shell to the two best men and obtained the worlds of virtue. The king Mitrasaha gave his beloved Madayanti to the great Vasistha and went to heaven with her. The great sage Sahasrajat, who was 1,000 times more successful, gave up his life for a Brahmin and obtained the worlds of perfection. The great sage Shatadyumna gave the beautiful house, perfect in all desires, to Mudala and went to heaven. The great king Dayutamanta, who was a sage, gave the kingdom to Rishi and went to the worlds of perfection. The king Lomapada gave his daughter Shante to Rishi Shringa and obtained all desires in abundance. The sage Madirashwa gave the medium-sized Kanai to Hiranyahastha and obtained the worlds praised by the gods. The great glorious Prasanajit donated 100,000 cows along with calves and went to the superior worlds. These and many others, through charity and penance, have gone to heaven, having become virtuous and endowed with the senses of life. Their fame will be renowned as long as the earth exists. Through charity, sacrifice, and the attainment of a royal family, these are the ways in which they have obtained heaven. The duties of a Brahmin and the way to cross the river of time. One should study the 3 sciences mentioned in the Vedas in a group. One should understand Riku, Sama, Yujasu, Atharvan, these literally. In these, the venerable Dharma deity, who reigns in the 6 karmas, resides. Those who are skilled in the Vedas and those who are skilled in spiritual knowledge, the truthful and the very fortunate, understand the principle of the creation. A Divyajan should act righteously and act righteously. He should try to obtain a profession without conflict with animals. He who has acquired knowledge from the tradition of good men, is virtuous, is wise in the scriptures, acts in the world according to his own religion, is a Divyajan, and is engaged in the 6 duties of a householder, is a Divyajan. He should constantly perform the 5 sacrifices with faith. A Brahmin who is steadfast, alert, restrains his senses, is a scholar of righteousness, is a living soul, and is free from joy, anger, and rage, never falls down. By charity, study, sacrifice, penance, modesty, uprightness, and restraint, brilliance increases, sin also decreases. One who is sinless, intelligent, a light eater, and a man of the senses should strive to attain the Brahmapada. One should worship the fires and the Brahmins. One should worship the gods, abandon crooked speech, and abandon the violence that is associated with unrighteousness. This ancient profession is beneficial for a Brahmin. One who performs actions according to the tradition of knowledge attains perfection in actions. The wise man will cross the river of greed, which is filled with the waters of the 5 senses, and is made of the mud of many, which is impassable, and has a formidable bank called greed. One should always know that the most charming time has arisen with the great power of divine providence, which is impassable. The animals created by Brahma, who have fallen into the flood of time, born from the vast waters of time, the whirlpools of years, the highways of months, the aura of seasons, the rods of fire of birds, the foam of the Nemeshoshas, the waters of days and nights, the terrible crocodile of desire, the boat of the Vedic sacrifice, the island of Dharma, the water of the form of desires of beings, and the middle part of the folds of ages, are going to Yamaloka. The wise cross this with the help of the wise. The foolish do not know how to cross. What can they do? Is it right that only the wise can cross it and no one else can? The wise sees the defects of qualities and demerits everywhere from afar, a doubting and fickle-minded person, with a small intellect, remains bound by time. Being ignorant, he cannot cross this river. Is it not that a sitting person cannot walk? Because he does not have a walking stick. He is guilty of a great sin due to delusion. For whom the crocodile of lust has seized hold, knowledge cannot flow. Therefore, a wise person should strive to rise above without drowning. For this, he should become a Brahmin, that is, he should acquire the knowledge of Brahman. A person born in the lineage of pure workers should, having been instructed by his parents and grandparents, perform the 3 karmas of Ijyudayana Dana and try to rise above it and cross the river of time. A wise person who has acquired the samskaras, is pure, is disciplined, and has mastered the mind, will soon attain happiness in this world and the hereafter. A householder should be free from anger and jealousy, perform the 5 great sacrifices, and be free from discord. He should be in the religion of good men, he should practice his actions like the virtuous. He should try to take up a blameless profession so as not to cause trouble to people. Having understood the principle of the science of hearing, he should act with discernment according to his own religion, and should not allow himself to be mixed up. The wise man, who is active, devoted, and free from jealousy, understands the special nature of the religions and transcends all obstacles. A Brahmin who is steadfast, not intoxicated, pious, who holds fast to his conscience, and who is free from joy, fear, anger, and hatred, does not fall. This is the ancient etiquette prescribed for a Brahmin. If one performs actions with knowledge of the scriptures, he will attain perfection everywhere. The ignorant person makes unrighteousness seem right, and while doing what is wrong, he grieves. He does unrighteousness in order to do right, and does right out of desire for wrong. That childish body, not knowing either of these, is born and dies in the waters of time. Meditation. Then Vyasa said, thus, one who is being swept away by the current of the river of time, sinking and rising, should take refuge in the rod of knowledge to escape from it. The brave who have consciously made up their minds on the principle, cross the ignorant with the rod of knowledge. Those who are ignorant can never cross others or themselves. The sage who has cut off all the defects of the mind should, with due diligence, practice the 12 yogas: country, action, affection, meaning, means, danger, determination, eye, food, destruction, mind, vision. The one who practices meditation takes refuge in a country that is level, holy, deserted, in a secluded place in a forest cave, where the mind is at ease. Food, recreation, sleep, and wakefulness are all beneficial. Anuraga Yoga is the love for the Lord and his instruments. Artha Yoga is the keeping of only the essentials. Upaya Yoga is the adoption of a comfortable and stable seat conducive to meditation. Apa Yoga is the keeping of the mind from dwelling in the dwelling places of children. Nikaya Yoga is the unwavering faith in the words of the Guru. Chakshu Yoga is the keeping of the eyes at the bridge of the nose. Ahara Yoga is the eating of pure, sattvic food. Samhara Yoga is the withdrawal of the senses and minds that naturally move towards external things. Mano Yoga is the stopping of the mind's thoughts and ideas and the concentration. Darshan Yoga is the seeing of the suffering that is inherent in the diseases of birth and death and the cycle of life. Whoever desires good knowledge should control the senses of speech and mind with intelligence. Whoever desires eternal peace should control the intellect with knowledge. He who has followed the example of these yogas, whether he be the most miserable, the one who knows all the Vedas, or the one who does not know a single thing, the one who is a religious sacrificer, the one who is the most sinful, the one who is the best of men, or the one who is the most difficult of beings, will surely cross over the most difficult samsara of birth and death. Thus, he who has practiced this yoga to the end, even if he is a yogi, will surpass the fruit of the Vedas. The seat of Dharma, the arch of shame, the belt of silence, the yoke of apana, the yoke of prana, the bridle of consciousness, the reins of life, the beautiful eye of consciousness, the wheel of perception, the vehicles of vision, touch, smell, and hearing, the dome of consciousness, the whip of all the tantras, and the charioteer of knowledge. The wise man sits on this chariot of yoga, which moves slowly. Although it moves forward with devotion, the subtle quality of renunciation remains behind. This chariot, which is pleasing to the mind, moves on the pure path of meditation. This divine chariot, endowed with life and soul, has the glory of going to the world of Brahma. Now, I will explain to the one who is willing to sit on the yoga chariot and perform the sadhana and who has the mind to touch the imperishable Parabrahman, the method of attaining it quickly. he should do 7 meditations on the subject of the earth, the sky, the Buddha haughtiness, preceded by the same number of impressions of the smell, of the scent, of the form, the Buddha haughtiness that he has taken as a back. By this, the aspirant will gradually attain wealth over the earth, the sky, the Buddha haughtiness, in these as well as over the unmanifest. The one who is engaged in this yoga practice will attain what kind of siddhi after these wealth, that after the delusion of this school body is gone, forms will be seen due to the subtle vision. Just as the winter season covers the sky, the yogi, free from delusion of the body, will have the previous experience, then the guard is removed and the second form is seen. He finds himself in the form of water, just as the entire sky appears as water. When he crosses the void, the form of fire is seen everywhere. When that too disappears, the pale weapon of air appears. Its shape is the color of wool. Then the subtle air element that has acquired a white pace appears. Then the yogi who wants to achieve distinction in Brahman attains the impure subtlety of mind. I will tell you what results will occur when these siddhis are achieved. Listen. The yogi will have the power of creation to achieve earthly wealth. He will be free from anger, like Prajapati, and create subjects from his body. It is said that by attaining the air element, one alone will be able to shake the earth by simply stepping on it with the tip of one's finger or with one's hands and feet. One who has attained the sky element will be able to become omnipresent and internal like the sky. Similarly, when one attains the water element, one will drink away all desires. If one attains the fire element, no one will be able to see his radiant form. When one conquers ego, the 5 elements will also be subdued by him. If the intellect, which is the cause of the 5 elements and ego, is conquered, the yogi will develop a pure talent. Then this entire world will merge into the unmanifest. Is it not from that unmanifest that the manifest has emerged? Father, I will explain the knowledge of the unmanifest in detail. First, I will explain the nature of the science of manifestation according to the Samkhya view. Listen. In both the Samkhya and Yoga views, the 25 principles are the same. But I will tell you something special. Listen. That which is born, grows, or is destroyed by digestion, is called manifest. It is not something that is excessive to this, it is called unmanifest. In the Vedas and Siddhantas, 2 souls are mentioned. The first, the living being, is born with 4 characteristics. He is said to be associated with the 4 aggregates of desire, desire for wealth, and liberation. The manifest arises from the unmanifest. The manifest is inert, the unmanifest is conscious. The manifest is called Satya and the Kshetrajna. Thus both of these have been explained. In the Vedas, it is also said that there are 2 souls. When a person who is interested in things turns away from them, he becomes free. This is the sign of salvation in the Sankhya view. He who has neither attachment nor ego, who is free from coldness and heat, who has cut off all doubts, who has neither anger nor hatred, who does not speak falsehood, who does not think ill of others even if he is beaten or injured, who is friendly towards everyone, who has abandoned the 3 rods of promise, action and mind, and who acts equally towards all beings, he attains the state beyond Brahman. He who desires nothing, does not do anything undesired, is not engrossed in the affairs of the body, is not troubled, is calm, is not inclined to engage in action or to abandon action, is not agitated by many senses, is not disturbed by the mind, is friendly to all the aggregates of beings, is equanimous towards clay, stone, and gold, is wise, is equal in both his slander and praise, is free from all desires, is steadfast in the rule of celibacy, is free from the tendency to violence towards all beings, such a Sankhya is liberated. Now I will tell you the causes from which one is liberated by yoga. Listen and understand. Whoever has transcended the opulences of yoga, he is liberated. Behold, I have told you the wisdom that arises from the purification of emotions. There is no doubt about it. He who has thus practiced becomes non-dual and attains the consciousness of Brahman. Mahabharata 11, continued.